and then of course it'll probably be like up there in like 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
That little delay. Sit back, talk about some action figures and releases and the pain that can be the NECA website or the Mattel website. But we'll get to all that though, and then probably show off. I have anything I picked up lately? I got a thing or two. Maybe we'll go with Triple H in China or something. Or these things here that I used for the thumbnail. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Was that debate transform?
Okay, yeah, because those. Hey, Kicks for Fresh is in here. What's going on?
What's going on, Fresh?
She is like the next tab over on my desktop.
Good morning.
So I can catch up on her videos. So basically, figures, like action figures. The three of us, we are action figure people. So we're gonna sit back, kind of talk about some things. But before we do that, we can go left to right. We'll start with Derek. You want to tell people a little about yourself?
Yep, my name's Derek. I've stopped in here a time or two on your channels. Usually you can see me talking to Shoes Up, Sleeves Down when we're doing wrestling conversations. But recently we all found out that we all like action figures, and we're talking about those today. So here I am.
Yep. All right, Jezzy.
Yeah, I'm Jezzy Christ, aka Thriller. You can find me on YouTube at the same handle, Jezzy Christ, aka Thriller. You can also find me on IG at Jezzy Christ 1. Yeah, but basically do shoe reviews, action figures, hauls, pretty much anything dealing with fashion or collectibles. I pretty much do it on my channel. So if you're looking for me, I appreciate you, Tristan, for putting me on sharing your platform today.
Oh, no problem.
Here to talk these figs.
And also, if you do follow Jezzy on Instagram, links are all in the description. If you do follow him on Instagram, you might occasionally see some car videos in there too. So he's doing a lot. But okay. So first off, the biggest thing that really came up, and I don't know how deep you guys got into everything, but there were a handful of San Diego Comic-Con releases this week, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Some were reveals that didn't come out just yet, but some have trickled out. Some stores did their sales. So what did you guys happen to see over the last couple of days that caught your attention from Comic-Con?
Well, I've been trying to follow the Hasbro and NECA section. I seen that they had a Kiss version of the Ninja Turtle figures that's what I was looking forward to. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not see that.
Walmart, like, they forever with the shits. So they're forever with the shits. I was looking for, they had the Casey Jones Raphael 2-pack, and that's what I was really looking for. And like none of the Walmarts, for some odd reason, never got a shipment of them. So I gotta kind of be on the lookout for that.
Yeah,
I guess I know where I'm going after this.
I tell you, it was it like 2 weeks ago or something? I feel like I went to Walmart, like the three Walmarts and the 2 Targets every day. It's how I felt, just trying to find some stuff. But what about you, Derek?
Kind of along with Jezzy on that. I was looking for some Ninja Turtle stuff and some Kiss stuff. Now, I didn't know that there was the Ninja Turtle Kiss figures out, so now I'm definitely going to look for those. But I knew that there was some Kiss figures released, and I've not found those. And my mom, she's a big Kiss fan, so I kind of want to get at least one of each member. And but while it was out, I ended up finding one of the San Diego Comic-Con Ninja Turtle packs. This one right here. But it's the retro re-release, and I saw that, and the resale price on it right now is kind of ridiculous. It's like $150. Now the pre-order was like $80 or $90, but I had enough in-store credit to knock that down to about $100. So I felt like it was justified to buy. I felt like that's like the shipping and receiving price. So I went ahead and and picked that up. And then along with that, I'm not sure. I don't think this was a San Diego Comic-Con thing, but I found this awesome Godzilla figure. It's got like the 1956 poster in the background. So you pop that out, you got a nice little diorama. It's got the 1956 color scheme on Godzilla as well.
That's dope.
Yeah, that is pretty nice. I've seen a lot of Godzilla figures lately. Just through like I think Big Bad Toy Store, maybe.
I think my Target has a lot of they're getting a lot more Godzilla toys now. Predator, Godzilla, more Terminator and Alien toys from NECA.
Yeah.
So they're starting to slowly catch up.
And speaking of NECA, and you guys bringing up the Kiss Ninja Turtles, did you guys see the Mutagen tour set? So back in, I think it was like 91 maybe, the Ninja Turtles went out on tour and they did songs apparently.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
They released those figures. It's like them just kind of out there with like from what I saw when I read a little bit about it, some of the weapons are not weapons, some of the instruments are a little switched up, you know what I mean? But overall, it's just a nice little set if you're into that. So for me, I like to buy little random things that I usually throw in like where my music stuff is and all that. And that's one that I was thinking about it, but you know, the NECA site is freaking terrible. And to Kicks for Fresh asking like if figures have high resale value, yes, they can. I've paid shoe prices for single figures just because like the dude had a purple belt instead of like the normal silver belt.
Right.
It can be kind of crazy, and that was a Battle Fist, a chase in I think it probably came from like the Philippines or something, probably like 200 maybe. Normal 6-inch figure, you know, but you know how you want it, and you see the price that it's going for. I mean, so you pay for it.
Yeah, and just like the pickup that I got this weekend, within one day the resale value's already doubled on it.
And like a lot of the stuff that I picked up from actually going to Comic-Con, I would always see people walking out with like bags of things. I mean, I've picked up stuff that I could have resold for however much, sure, but you know, I'm a personal collector kind of guy, so, and I have to worry about getting that stuff back to wherever it is I live. If you live in San Diego, not a huge deal, but if you're shipping that stuff back, you can make your money back if you buy the right Hasbro things or the right Funko things, but I'm not about that. I'll enjoy the show and I'll buy what I can for me. Though I do wish I had got that Macho Man that came in the Slim Jim box.
That would be nice. Did you those Target WWE figures that you sent me the other day? They completely sold out.
Man, I got my order in for that Jake the Snake though when I sent it to you, and it was like maybe an hour later. I saw the Mr. Wonderful said sold out. Did you get an order in?
I got my order in. I'm what is November supposed to be here?
Yeah,
I got it in.
Is that the network figures with like Angle and all them?
I would know it's Legends figures.
Yeah, this was Mr. Wonderful, Jake the Snake, Eddie Guerrero. Help me out. Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior was kind of cool because it's like the last speech warrior.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So he's like the old man, but I call him Old Man Warrior, but you know. So because he's got the suit on, but he's got the jacket on too, and he's got the mask in his hand. It's a pretty cool figure. And looking back at it, I kind of feel like I should have put an order in for that one.
Yeah.
Charlotte and Ric Flair Gold. Man, Target, if anybody sees the Razor Ramon in their Target, it's supposed to come out today. It's a Legend series. Please pick that up and tell me how much money to give you, because
I will check it out today.
I'll go ahead at both my Targets today.
Yeah, because like
I did get a package.
Because my people, because I follow some time ago on Twitter, I posted something, and then Chick Foley started following me, which is like an action figure wrestling podcast thing. And so eventually they told me they invited me into their little Patreon or their Facebook group because I give them money through Patreon once in a while. And people are on there talking about all kinds of stuff. You know, I'm like, okay, now I can get some inside scoops because some of those people actually work at Target or whatever the case is. I'm like, oh, well, we have them in a lot of the stores, but they just arrived on Saturday. So if they're not out on Sunday morning, it's not necessarily because they don't want to. They may not have gotten to the box yet.
Right.
But so something to keep an eye on throughout the week then.
Oh yeah, I mean, because I saw some people posting pictures today getting it, and I think she had hers yesterday. But you know, it's crazy though. Like the hunt for those, like somebody was saying, Case Refresh was saying, is it like shoes? And it can be, you know,
because it can be worse.
You hear exactly. It's usually worse, but it's like because you may not even have as many places to look. If it's say like those, like the Masters of the WWE Universe, the He-Man crossover that they're doing, those are only in Walmart. If you're looking for like the Otis and Tucker, like Heavy Machinery, those are everywhere that figures are sold. But where I am, that is Target and Walmart.
Right.
If it's a pair of shoes, you got some stuff to pull from.
Right.
But past that though, the other releases that I saw, did you guys see the Mr. T figure from Mattel?
No, I didn't see
Mr. T?
Dude, they had a WWE Elite Series Mr. T figure. It came out on Entertainment Earth a couple of weeks ago, but then it came up on Mattel over the weekend. Man, that thing was crazy. I'm gonna try to see if I can pull up a picture of it here. Do a little screen share or something.
Is that only an online type pickup or?
I mean, it was because let me see, where's the screen share option? But the thing is, they did the first release, which was just like a minor pre-release or whatever, or pre-order. So there you go. There you have that.
That was nice.
And the website, Entertainment Earth's website, was having all kinds of problems, so that didn't happen. And then they're like, "Oh, don't worry about it. There's going to be a Mattel time where like they actually sell it for real, like the rest of the stock, so to speak."
I'm surprised they didn't try to make that a 2-pack with Roddy Piper or Hulk Hogan or something.
Right.
No, the 2-pack is coming.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a 2-pack, like Double E said. Mr. T, Roddy Piper, WrestleMania 2 or 3, where they had the boxing gloves on. So that's coming. He will also be part of the He-Man crossover, along with, I think he's coming out in the wave that has The Fiend and Macho Man, maybe? Well, the other Macho Man.
Oh, that's dope.
But yeah, so Mr. T is definitely going to have some wrestling figures coming out. But that was the one that I wanted. So
yeah,
I
can get into that.
Yeah, the other ones are cool and all, don't get me wrong, but that one, let me see.
And I'm pretty sure that would be the only Mr. T wrestling action figure ever that I can think of anyway. I've never seen or heard of one.
Yeah, so and it wasn't expensive either. It was a normal price, $30. But everybody got them before people could actually buy them. So not much you can do about that.
And on top of that, keep your eyes out. There's I'm a big Deadpool fan, and there's this new pirate Deadpool out. Yeah. And I could not find it. Yeah. The only one I could find was the blue and gold one.
Let's see, which I've seen a couple, because Deadpool is one of those ones that pops up a lot.
Yeah.
But I can't think of what all ones I have seen. But I'll take the HBK fig, though, that Mr. Perfect. There's a Mr. Perfect Retro Fest that I want. I don't have my Shawn Michaels out here anymore because I had to replace it with this. There were only so many places where I could display a bottle of the so he had to get moved over to the room, which kind of broke up some things, but it's cool. But yeah, see, I could express that those things get crazy detailed. Like you wouldn't believe some of the details in these things. But let me make sure I close this other window out. Nope. But yeah, there's some other stuff coming along too. Let's see, I'm trying to think of what all else I saw that I had wanted, because NECA did a whole bunch of things. Mattel had, I can't think of his name, but he was Newman on Seinfeld, but he was in the first Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah.
But but the figure came in like the little aerosol can of like shaving cream.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that one?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but that's interesting.
Let me see if I can
he had
find
the
that.
dinosaur samplers in the little can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, because I saw on whatchamacallit, on Instagram, they had the whole set laid out, right? Where it was just like you could look at it and you could see how it was in production.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty cool. Just them showing the breakdown of how the figure was going to be in the package. And so there's that for you real quick. So you can you pull off the top and then you have the figure on the inside.
See, now I'm one that says to not crack things open usually, but that's something like that's the perfect display setup right there.
Right.
Yeah, because that, just looking at that thing right there, it's like, man, that is too cool to pass up. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, it's not too cool to pass up, but it is very cool. I'll give it that. So hopefully, I don't know if I'll be getting that or not, because I think those sold out while I was distracted trying to get things that I did not get, basically. Though I did get a couple Funko pieces from the SDCC site, or from the Funko site for SDCC, because those things generally go for some pretty decent money. Because I picked up a couple, was it 2 or 3 years ago? Because when you get access to Comic-Con, a lot of people think you have access to everything, and that's not quite the case.
Right.
But I did get access one year to the Funko booth, and so I bought like a whole bag of Funkos to kind of take care of me, my mom, and a bunch of friends that I have that were in the city with me. And of course, I'm in line, and I'm having to like look at all this stuff, because people are like, "Oh, give me this, give me that, give me this." I don't know the names of any of these characters from any of these shows, because I don't watch anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when they're like, "Oh, do they have so and so?" I'm like, "What is that? Like the guy from Game of Thrones? He does this." I'm like, "I don't know what any of this means." But
yeah, I think I've only got like 3 Funkos that I can think of.
I used to be like that until that Marvel Collector Corps came around.
Yeah. So like I've got the like one from Overwatch from like when that was a thing, and then I've got, of course, got to get a Deadpool.
Yeah.
And then the other one is there's a show on Netflix called Let's Go, which is really entertaining, and I highly recommend y'all watching that sometime. But I think that's the only 3 pops that I actually own.
I'd imagine you'd have at least some of the music ones, like Rob Zombie, maybe.
Right. Phil Collins.
Didn't even know they made a Phil Collins one.
I just seen it the other day. I may go back and pick that one up.
You know which one I'm like? It happened before I even knew what Funkos were, but somewhere out there at some point they made Public Enemy.
Yeah.
If I had known when that was happening, I would have bought those. But now they're like hundreds of dollars or something, or maybe that's for the set. But either way, for a little $10 thing, I'm not trying to pay $100-something for it, right? But some of the ones that I bought, like what's his name? The name of the guy he was the voice of the Rock guy in Thor 3. I can't Tikiki something. Either way, him. I got his figure, and I got the one of the guy that made the Saw movies, James Wan, something like that.
Yeah.
Those happen to go for a fair amount, and it's like you have it because you want it, but like sometimes it does get a little tempting to sell them.
Right.
Yeah.
And since I have these over here, now somebody had asked about the bait figures that I had, so I'll just show those off real quick. So this one right here, right? Which one is this? This is Megatron.
The Wu-Tang.
Actually, where's the little solo layout? So we got Megatron here, right? Got Bumblebee, of course. And then the two others, which was Optimus Prime and Soundwave.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah. Overall, honestly, just because of the whole me being like a big music guy, Soundwave is my favorite. No question. I bought the one a couple years ago where he turns into an iPad because they tried to modernize it and just to just as a twist for like Hasbro that year. So they released a Soundwave that turns into an iPad, and I was like, okay. I was in line at the Hasbro booth, and they had that still in stock. And when you're at Comic-Con, it's easy to make some bad decisions because you're in line and you see these things that you weren't completely sold on, but they're giving you the option to buy it.
Right.
You know what? Let's do it. I mean, remember the Green Ranger, right?
Yeah.
Was it the Green Ranger? One of them. Yeah, the Green Ranger had like the talking sword.
Oh, the White Ranger.
Yeah.
What's the white?
Had the little line on the hilt of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one of those because like I happened to randomly win access to whatever booth was selling those, and they're like, oh yeah, if you win a ticket out of this thing, you can buy this. I'm like, so I won a ticket and I bought it. Now it's just sitting on the shelf. Like, what am I gonna do with it?
Mine's somewhere around here now.
So you mentioned earlier, because I've never been to Comic-Con, but you mentioned earlier that you don't get access to everything. How's that work out?
So here's the thing, right? Certain booths get a lot of traffic. Those being like the Lego booth, the Funko booth, right? Those guys, people are hammering them. Hasbro, of course. So if you want to get access to them, right, you have to go to in the past years, you had to go to the convention center early, like early being like probably 4 to 5 in the morning. And keep in mind that this building doesn't open until like 9 or 10.
Oh my gosh.
So you're there, you're outside, right? Hopefully under the tent or something if you're early enough. And so when it opens, you have to rush to where that is. So if you don't know the layout of that building, I've been there every year since 2013, minus this year. I still get lost in there, right? So you have to get through there super fast just to kind of hope that you get a spot, right?
And do they usually set up in the same areas every year?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it makes that a little easier.
Nothing moves, right? So if you go in and you miss out on Thursday, you at least know from your mistakes what to do on Friday or Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now what they've done, because that was just creating a lot of chaos, you go on and it's a raffle system now, right? What do you know? So you go onto the Comic-Con website once you have a badge and stuff and you have access to it. You go onto the website and you select which days or which booths you want to try to get access to and which times you will be available to go there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know that you're going to be in Hall H all Saturday, you probably aren't going to put in for a Saturday slot, right? But you put in for whatever, and then at the end of the week, they just kind of randomly throw it all out there and like, okay, you got this. You're able to go on to the Funko booth on Friday between 3 and 6. Mm-hmm. So somewhere between then, you have to be in line to get your stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that works. Now, as far as other things like Mattel and stuff like that, they will cap their lines, but they won't necessarily be shut down for the day. It's just, okay, if there's so many people in a certain area, it creates like a fire hazard or whatever. So they'll say, hey, come back in like 20 minutes. So you can sit down. If it's the Mattel booth, it's near the food court section. So you can just sit down and just kind of wait. But for some of the other ones,
that's very convenient.
yes. But for some of the other ones, it's like, okay, you gotta just kind of peruse this area. You know, you can read a comic book at one of the next booths over or something, and you can keep an eye on how quickly the line moves, because things like Entertainment Earth often have long lines, but it moves super fast.
Mm-hmm.
So for the most part, you can get access to whatever you want. It's just that a lot of those high dollar items, that like the big money things that everybody knows are going to go for high prices.
Yeah.
Those, especially like the Legos, because people are all about some Legos.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Like the Star Wars Legos, like they'll put one thing out for 1 year, and I got friends, they will buy them, and then the next year they'll like double or triple in price on whatever they bought that year.
The Harry Potter Lego stuff was going for top dollar at one time too.
Yeah, and there was 1 year where Hasbro had something from Magic. It was like a sword, or like it was some huge weapon. I think it was like an axe. Yeah, it was a Nerf axe. And that thing, because it came with like these limited Magic cards that apparently were really good. So that was one that people were going crazy for. But I get it though.
Dungeons and Dragons, Minecraft, all that stuff is going for top dollar.
But I mean, past that though, it's like there's so much stuff out there. I mean, when you think about whatever it was that you were into as a child, and I'm not talking just like in Comic-Con, I mean out at any store. It's like if you were into, for me, like Ninja Turtles, you know, you may not have to follow all this stuff. You can just walk through any toy aisle and just randomly come across something.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't know if you guys have just randomly discovered anything lately that you didn't know was out, or maybe you thought was.
Yeah, I got one right here. Just what you were saying, like Hasbro, I don't know what the hell is going on with the shipping department or whatever the case may be. They've been just releasing random stuff and not putting no announcements out. I bought this the Power Ranger Lightning figure.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
This the Down Thunder Black, and like they didn't make no announcement, and turns out it's a Target exclusive. So these are.
I just seen that yesterday at Target. Huh.
Yeah. They were going for about $90 on eBay.
Really?
Yeah, because I think they only
it's stuff like that you just don't know. Like,
because I got some of those Power Rangers action figures myself, but I only picked up like the OG ones because those are the ones like I originally started watching, and I watched a little bit up to like the space and all that. But some of these like newer ones, I don't know them, so I'm like, okay, I'm not picking up any of those. But then I miss out on opportunities like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing, because like even when I'm even for me, like I just recently kind of started paying attention again. But even before that, I'd go to Target for whatever reason. Like months ago, my mom would say, "Hey, can you look for hand sanitizer, Lysol, or whatever she needed?" And of course, like walking in, all I had to do was take that right to that aisle. But it's like I'm going to go all the way back and around because I'm going to see if there hadn't been any figures here that I might want.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you might see something that's not necessarily limited or whatever, or maybe it is and you don't know. But you know, you see that Seth Rollins figure or something, or you see that Krang and Shredder that I bought the other day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that Krang and that Shredder. It's like I haven't had a good Krang or Shredder figure since I was like 6. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was one that I picked up, and of course I didn't look at the price. I just guessed what it might cost. So when I got to the register and they're like $50, I was like, "Oh, is it now?"
Yeah, that's how I was. I was like, "Wait, $50 for? I can understand 4, but 2, just the 2-pack, $50, man."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it because like I was like, you know what? I've been kind of on this little figure hunt all day to find something. I'm not gonna walk away empty-handed.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I was thinking maybe like 30. But you know, it is what it is. You know, if you want something enough, and you're right there in the moment. Now, had I known going into it, maybe I would have talked myself out of it. But you know,
Yeah, I mean that's how I ended up with the Ninja Turtles. I originally went in looking for the Pirate Deadpool, and that wasn't there, but the Turtles were, and I'm like, well, might as well pick that up. I'll actually go ahead and pull this out anyway.
I think they're probably gonna put more of those Pirate Deadpools out because they did that with that Miami Vice Deadpool set. They said it was limited, and then they wound up releasing it pretty much everywhere. Then.
Yeah, I've seen like several of those at my local shop that I go to for figures and comics.
Yeah. Have you guys, Jezzy, you read comics, right? Or do you? Okay. Have you guys read anything good lately? Because I haven't picked up. I haven't read comics in a good while.
I recently got told this was Power Ranger related. They said the new the Beyond the Grid series came out, so I'm gonna check that out and see what's going on with that. I haven't really been seeing too much Marvel lately. I think they're in the revamp phase right now too.
Yeah, I keep seeing a lot of stuff where like the comics are kind of shifting to get storylines that are in line with like the movies.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well that's cool. You know, you do you. And I think a while ago, and I might have told Derek this because I know we've been talking for years about random stuff. I do remember getting into Outcast a while ago, but I didn't stick with it. So I need to go back to that by the same people that did The Walking Dead.
Right.
And there were a couple little graphic novels that I picked up, you know, like All-Star Superman or Old Man Logan, you know, things like that.
Right.
But it's been a while. It's probably like since 2016, 17 or so that I really read anything straight through. And I think that was there was a crossover going on, like Avengers versus X-Men. But then even around then, the only other thing I was reading was an older version of X-Factor or X-Force. I can never remember which one. The one with Multiple Man in it.
I think that was X-Force.
X-Force. Yeah, I think so.
Because what they had a line back in 2006. And so those where, you know, they had, remember when the House of M thing went down and like a lot of mutants didn't have their powers and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he somehow still did. And a couple of the other, it was X Factor. Okay, I had to look it up. So a couple of them still did, but they were like a detective agency. And it was a pretty good series, but then it kind of went off the rails towards the very end of it. But it kind of made me a fan of Multiple Man because there was a little part of the storyline where he had made multiples of himself, and each section is like a piece of his personality, right? Or each person is a person from his personality. And he sent them all out into the world to do these different things. So when he absorbed them, he would have those memories and those skills or whatever. So he's going around the world, he's finding all his multiples, trying to pull them back in. And he's got dudes out there that have like been out there for years. They've established lives. They have families and stuff. And like he's basically going there to, in a way, kill them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was kind of crazy because I never really looked at him like that.
Didn't he absorb his child or something like
that? That sounds.
One of them had a child. Yeah, one of the multiples had a child, and he wound up absorbing the child too.
That sounds vaguely familiar, but I just remember like as I was reading that, I start to think about all this stuff because I got into all that when I was younger, you know.
Right.
I was collecting like the figures and some of the toys, and I know you, Jezzy, you've been keeping up with a lot of the Marvel figures, Marvel Legends and all that. You picked up any of those lately?
Yeah, I did. I picked up the Jean Grey Sugar Man. Picked up her. She's been kind of hard to find, and X-Man, the Nate Gray figure.
Okay.
So, Target had I think they had the Deadpool cable for sale, but that sold out within seconds, just like the
And to Jumpman Eric,
what was that?
No, I said Jumpman Eric asked the question, said if there's pop collectors here. And it's like, I tell myself that I'm not, but my closet says different. So I'm going to say no, but don't ask how many are in the closet.
I'm very selective of my Funkos now.
I mean, now I am too, because when I was unboxing, unboxing with moving, that is,
Yeah.
I realized I've got a fair amount of. Now, I'm not saying it's anything that competes with people who actually show off their collections,
Right.
but for somebody who doesn't consider themselves a collector of those, I have a lot.
It's about that.
And because I looked at the stack earlier when I was trying to find these things, so I had to dig these out. And I looked in there and I'm like, man, like I saw this whole section. Then there's a box over here with like Rick James and Silver Serpents. I'm like, these things are everywhere. You know, there's He-Man over there, got the Weezer dude over there somewhere.
See, for me, I feel like I've got to be very selective on those too, because I will walk into my comic shop and they'll just have walls of these things, and I see so many that I'm like, I would like to have that. I would like to have that. I would like to have that. And then just like, if I start buying into these, then I will have way more than what I actually need.
Right.
See, yeah. I kind of get by it by buying some for my mom and my dad. So like Salt and Pepper came out recently. Mom's a huge fan. I would have liked to have that set too, but you know what? I'm just going to get one set. I'm going to get it for her, and I'll just live through her on that. Right. And then Florida Stanley, you know, from The Office, that came out. And so I bought that for my dad because I thought he'd like it. He got it yesterday. He was a huge fan of it. So some of those, it's like, I'd like to have it, you know, but instead I'll just give it as a gift for somebody. And I'll just, so now when I show up down there, like, because he has all the stuff that I bought him, it's got like Mike Tyson figures and Transformers and whatever else, all just kind of in his little section of the room or something. So I'll look at it then. But otherwise, it's just they make too much stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, in my case, it originally started. I was like, I'm just gonna get Dragon Ball Funkos, and then it evolved to Pokemon Funkos, and then it evolved to Marvel Funkos, and now Michael Jordan Funkos, sports Funkos. Like it started becoming overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I just said I'm gonna just get selective pieces out of it now.
And that's how I kind of feel with like that Power Rangers set that I was telling you about. Like now I've got, you know, the original 5, and then I've got the White Ranger recently. I'm still looking to find the Green Ranger. I found the Green Ranger and the Putty 2-pack. But I want the Green Ranger solo pack. As soon as I find that.
Wave 6 should have the Green Ranger and the original, like without the silver stripe and everything.
Yeah. So yeah, like I'm looking for that, and then it's like there are other Power Rangers that, you know, I've enjoyed over the years, but I know if I start, you know, getting into those, like it's going to start becoming overwhelming just with the Power Rangers alone.
Yeah, that's
right.
Because I went through that. Like I said, the first pop that I bought, I remember I was just walking through Comic-Con, and the thing is, there are a lot of independent sellers there. Like imagine just like a little mom and pop shop that might be in your local area.
Right.
They rent the space, they have a booth, and they just sell stuff on the side, right? So that's how you find just random things. Like maybe you're looking for a very specific Archangel from a couple years ago. You might find it there for like a decent price. So I was walking around there, and somebody's like, oh, hey, look, some Funko Pops. I'm like, yeah, I don't really have any of those. I'm like, maybe one day I'll get one if I ever see the right one. And then they had this Undertaker right there. I'm like, oh, this is the right one, the Undertaker. and and that was the downfall right there. Because like I was saying, they cover so many properties that whatever you're into, from wrestling to movies to, you know, just random actors. I know this is kind of like movies, but whatever you want, it's out there and it's cheap. Like those things are like, because they're so mass produced, unless you're looking for, unless you're looking for specific chase figures or something like that. Yeah, it's $10, maybe less if you're on Amazon. I mean, I think like
adds up real quick though.
Yeah, I think the Thugonomics John Cena that's been in my Amazon cart for what feels like 2 years now is like $9. And I keep telling myself, like, don't buy it. Just put whatever you want to.
You're keeping it in that cart.
Man, you wouldn't believe. I think I still have an old season of Dexter in my Amazon cart. There's so much crap in there. It's just like stuff you think you want, but whatever.
Well, I also think they get really clever with these Funko Pops because, like Jezzy was saying, you know, he was talking about the Dragon Ball Pops, and I've seen a lot of those, and I thought they're pretty interesting. But the best one I've ever seen was the Dead Yamcha Funko Pop, and I was so tempted to get that one, but that one they were wanting like $40 for that one at the time. Like, I don't know if I could push 40 for that. It was very tempting though.
I think they went more than that now.
Oh man, I missed out.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta look at it and be like, you know what, I buy now, think about it later.
Yeah,
and that's the hardest thing though, because like you don't want to just stockpile things. You want to, if you're going to invest in that resale market or any resale market, you want to at least have some idea that, okay, these are the things I should focus on, or this is what I should at least look for. Like if you know that this version of this is only coming out in like electronic boutique in Canada, it's like, okay, that could be something. You know what I mean?
I was just about to say, I said a lot of those Canadian vendors, that's the ones I look at.
And like when I was living in Korea, I was able to order from Pop Culture because they have this whole like no shipping to the US thing for a lot of their figures. Like once I figured out how to type in my little Korean address, it's like, all right, looks like we're good.
Game on.
I'm getting this prison mic in the office. And because it's just like, it's crazy how stuff is like that. And even other vendors like will have their own websites where they only sell to people that are overseas, right? It's just like, though they have a certain allotment, I assume, for these other countries.
Right.
And it's like, if you want to get that stuff, you got to figure out like, okay, who do I know that lives in Indonesia?
Yeah.
Like nobody.
Yeah, nobody. Like I'm lucky if I've got somebody in like England, Germany, Japan, Korea. Like that'd be it.
Yeah,
I need somebody in Canada because Toys R Us Canada does not ship to US, so that makes it hard for a lot of that stuff too.
See, it's like, and that's a place like I used to know a lot of people in Canada. I'm not sure. Wait, I do know a couple people, but I guess a lot of the people that I used to hang out with, there are some that are from there, and I know I do have a couple people that are regulars on the channel and stuff that are from Canada. So that's the other thing about doing this kind of thing. You meet a lot of people from a lot of places, and that can be one of the handy parts of it. Like when there was a Pro Wrestling Tees exclusive a while ago, and the guy from Sneaker Hearts, like I had said something about it, and he was like, well, if I have time between like this and that, like I'll see if I can look for it for you. Because all it was, you just had to go there, just buy the shirt within, I don't know if it was an all-day sale or what, but he was at least willing to try. You know what I mean? And that's enough right there. If you can't do it or whatever, like the fact that you even consider doing it, hey, like that's leaps and bounds beyond what some people will do. You know?
Yeah.
But going back to like getting overboard with things though, because I'm sure we've all done it in other cases, but that was me with like the He-Man stuff, because when they come out with that first wave and you realize that there's only 4 good guys and 4 bad guys, and you already have maybe like 5 or 6 of them, you're like, you know what, I can get Beastman, I can get Tila, I can round off this set. But that's where you go wrong, because you go to that Walmart, you look for Beastman and Tila, and then it's like, oh, looks like they have Roboto now.
Yeah.
Must be a wave too. Now you're hooked.
Yeah. So I was about to pick up a 3-pack yesterday, Wolverine, Jean Grey, and Cyclops. And I'm like, all right, this little $75 pickup. You're going to, that one right there. I almost picked that one up. And then as I'm sitting there looking, I realize there's one with Havoc and what's her name?
Magneto.
Yeah, look, they're hanging up here. I can't reach this one, but it's
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to pick those up.
Yeah,
It's interesting that you got those.
I mean, they just got. This is the thing about this peg. I got it. I don't regret it, but they already gave me this Tiger Stripe Wolverine, and I was like, so it's like, why did y'all just basically sell me the same thing? It's the same.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
the
I was
that's the
watching
only thing Hasbro does. Take your money.
Because I watched the video recently, and I can't think of the guy's name, but I'm sure if I could, one or both of you guys would probably know who I'm talking about. But he did a video. It's probably 15, 20 minutes long, just talking about a handful or maybe all of the different Wolverines that they had made from however many years ago up until whenever that video was current, which was probably within the last year. And it's crazy how little variation can go into some of them, and then how different like one random one will be. It's like, but you have this one, it's got the claws made like this, it's got this made like that, he's got this face going on. And it makes you it makes you wish you had been paying more attention in the past to some of this stuff.
Yeah. I saw the talking about variations. I've seen the
that was one of them.
But I've seen there's 2 Storm figures at my shop right now. There's a Storm and it's the Uncanny Storm. So there's that one, and then there's a black one as well. But there's a huge price difference. I don't. And for some reason, my store, the white one was way more expensive than the black one, and I don't understand why. Since you got both of those, do you happen to know why?
Originally the retail on the black one was more than this one at the time. This one was 20, this one was 30.
Yeah.
But this is the classic Storm figure, and this was harder to find. I think it was just because, we grew up on the 90s X-Men.
Yep.
She always wore this one. So, resale on this one just went crazy high. I think it's about maybe $45, maybe $50 now.
Yeah, because the one I seen was about 40, and then the black one was running about 20 to 23, I think. 23. But it goes back to the whole, that's what we grew up on, is like I didn't want to spend $40 on the Storm when I could get the black one for 23, but it's like, well, I grew up watching, the series with the white outfit.
Right. Right, but that Storm, I actually think I had paid resale on her. I paid resale, but I had an Amazon, an eBay coupon at the time, so I wound up getting up pretty much for retail.
Yeah.
So she was a hard find for the most part, and I think it was that 80 edition, the 80-year Deadpool. That was another one that was hard to get to. I think that was a Best Buy exclusive at one time, but I think Best Buy, GameStop.
Those packages kind of bring back some memories. Remember I was trying to find a picture of it. One of the first figures I got, I think this was the first, was an Archangel. Let me see if I can get the screen share thing going. From the Toy Biz line, back however long ago that was.
Yeah.
Let's see where
the crazy thing about Toy Biz, I look at some of the older figures, I was like, these things look like crap now.
Yeah, it was that one right there.
Yeah.
There's some good Archangels out there, but that one, like, as a 4th grader or something like that, it was just a really cool toy. I kind of knew the guy, and I was like, man, he got, like, these fancy wings, he can do this cool stuff. Like, that was all I needed to know. I was like, there was nothing better. And after that, I think I got Colossus from that same line.
I think from that line I had the Cyclops, Wolverine, and maybe the Jean Grey or Rogue. I can't remember, but one of those last 2.
Yeah, I had a Weapon X Wolverine that came out within 2 years of that. I want to say, and an Omega Red, which to this day, like Omega Red, I don't really follow the guy, but he is one of my favorite figures. Like I've seen a couple pop up over the last few years that have looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you guys are any upcoming things like normal X-Men Legends or whatever that you guys are looking at?
There's a Black Ranger coming out, and it's got the Green Ranger's armor on him, and that one's running about $80, and that's just at pre-sale right now, I think.
Who's making that?
I got it. I got the armored Black Ranger. I got that one. I go to I probably could find that for you at Walgreens because that was a Walgreens exclusive.
I forget Walgreens gets exclusives too. Yeah.
I didn't even know Walgreens had anything like that.
Yeah, that's where I got my Mystique from, and she's going for a nice little bit now.
Oh.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, add that onto the shops that I need to stop by.
Yeah, just head over to Walgreens. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Emma Frost. She was a Walgreens exclusive.
That's one of those places that I just don't think about. Like Walgreens.
Yeah, when I think I'm thinking like you need to, get some medicine or a passport photo, you go to Walgreens.
yeah, or just like I'll go in there because I think you can get some candy or some chips or whatever,
Yeah,
right.
Stuff like that. You can get some pictures printed out or whatever. We used to do that when I was younger because you have cameras and you have to take them somewhere.
Yeah.
But now, yeah. So, but as far as for me though, upcoming pickups, it's now that I'm back into like these little wrestling groups and stuff.
Right.
I keep seeing so many things. Also, being that I shop with Ringside Collectibles a lot and follow them. Like one of the complaints that I had for a long time was that if you follow a lot of people on Instagram, you don't get to see everybody because it's just impossible.
Yeah.
You see the people you deal with the most or whatever, but like it's like Jezzy, Ringside Collectibles, Bobby Sneaker World, Ringside Collectibles, like JJ all day, Ringside Collectibles. I'm like, man, like you guys are relentless and you know that I want to buy this stuff. And so I'll get on there and it's like, oh, check this out. And then it's like, oh, you don't forget to use this code for 10% off because everybody that they have affiliates with, or whatever you want to call it, like how a lot of shoe people have like, oh, use my code on GOAT for this or use my code on Reshoevnator for that.
Right.
Same thing. So unfortunately, I didn't know that when I bought Triple H in China here. I paid the full $40.
Yeah, I think it was 40.
Whatever. I don't know. Whatever they told me that the total was, I gave them that, and I was fine with it because it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And they came out really good too. Super detailed, these things. But now it's like I look at all the other stuff that's coming around, especially like the Elite Series things. And after getting a good look at those and doing some comparisons and seeing what the differences are like, it's like, yeah, I just bought, what's that set? Street Profits and Bianca Belair. But that's the basic series. Now they got the Elite ones coming out. It's like, yeah, maybe I do need this. And they got the Decade of Domination, like the Mark Henry and all that stuff. Like, I don't have a Mark Henry figure, and I've always wanted one, so maybe this is the time. Man, it's just too much stuff out there,
Yeah.
Like I was saying in one of my videos, whichever one it was because I make a fair amount of them. It was like, I want a lot more wrestling figures now, which means that if I cut back and if I buy like one pair of shoes under what I would normally buy, that'll cover a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for the price of like a $350, that comes in at like $240. That would cover my whole AEW set plus some random other stuff. And those AEW figures are looking pretty good. Did you guys see the Chase Darby Allin?
No, I didn't. The only one that I've seen was the Orange Cassidy one. Outside of like their original set that they put out there with Jericho and Cody and all them.
I'm waiting for an Orange Cassidy figure.
But it's coming. It is coming. He posted on Twitter the other day.
I need hands in his pocket.
Yeah. His figure looks really good because I forget who the guy is, but somebody that's actually involved in making the figures was showing off like pictures of it, and then they had like the jacket. They didn't have the actual figure to put the jacket on, but they showed it on Cody, and they're like, "This is what the jacket looks like," and the jacket was crazy. I mean,
and I like how they got like alternate hands that you can give him, so it is his pocket hands,
which is a definite plus. Let me find the picture here. It's not super big, but that's the only place I could find it. So the Darby Allin Chase is going to have like the face paint, but it's more like body paint down the left side of his body.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And even comes with a skateboard.
Yeah, so I'm trying to see more of that, more of those figures.
Now I feel like they need the Jericho with the skateboard now.
And then what else? Because they also have the Jake the Snake that's going to be based off of King Hiss from Masters of the Universe. You got the Mr. T, right?
Oh, that's dope.
So who is he? I can't think of who that's modeled after. I can picture all those people, but I can't think of the names. And this Bray Wyatt, which I thought was going to be Hordak, but it's Trapjaw, or that's who he's modeled after. And then just a whole bunch of other stuff. You know, we got the WrestleMania 22 Edge somewhere on here. Yeah, Keith Lee. You know, this Jake the Snake is the one that I ordered the other day, so looking forward to that coming in. But there's just a lot of stuff coming around that I saw and was like, okay, I need to get a handful of these things. I don't need them, but
you want them.
Double E, he knows what I'm talking about. He's saying he needs all those Motus. Let me see. Like, I don't know if he wants to jump in and say anything or whatever, but like looking through all those upcoming releases, and that's just those, you know. I keep seeing all the He-Man or the Ninja Turtles things too, you know.
Yeah.
And then you guys talk about stuff that I didn't even know was coming out, like the Kiss set. So it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, I like buying my shoes here and there, but I've got a lot.
I'm not ashamed to say many. I've sold some shoes in the realm of getting my figures. So I mean,
so you got your nice own little economy going on over there.
I mean, personally, it's like this. I said I know I have a lot of shoes that I'm selling, but I'm like, it's worth it if it's a certain figure like a SDCC exclusive or something like that. I'll off those shoes real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that was really the only time I paid resale for things. And at the time I didn't think anything of it. But like when I first got into like the He-Man stuff, I would hear about this mysterious San Diego Comic-Con where you could get certain things. And I was very much a completionist with that set, right? So when they would say, oh, there's Polly Pocket She-Ra, it's like, that sounds, I'm going to have to get that, see what that's all about. So that's somewhere. You know, there was it was Skeletor and some like dentist. There was like a set of that for some odd reason. I have that somewhere. I was buying all these things. I don't know how many Keldors I bought. I think I got like 2, possibly 3, and gave one to somebody. It's like the first one I bought was not signed, and then I bought one that was signed by like 2 of the 4 horsemen, and then I found one that was signed by all 4. And I got like a special edition He-Man from one of those years. But it's just like I would see the stuff, and to me and to a lot of shoppers, it's like if you look at something online and you see, okay, it's selling for 90, 95, 97, 92, 85, 90, 90, 93, and you see it for like 90, you're like, okay, you know what? This is about in line with what everybody's paying. So you go with it. As long as it's
I got offered not too long ago. It was a Vegeta Funko that was signed by Christopher Subbot for like $200.
Man, that's
That's not a bad deal, in my opinion.
That wasn't a bad deal, but I was like, I want Vegeta signed by Brian Drummond instead. I said, if you can find me a Brian Drummond, I'll take that one.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I showed this last time, but I got this is my signed by Kevin Eastman.
Kevin Eaton.
Yeah, so signed, autographed, got the picture drawn on there and stuff like that. I mean, because that's one of those things. Sometimes people are willing to sign anything. Most of them, you know what I mean. It's just some people will say like, "Oh, well, do you want it written out to somebody?" Because they want to try to make sure that you're not just trying to resell it or something.
Right.
Because the thing is, sometimes people don't think about stuff like that. When you're getting it signed, you might just say, "Hey, can you sign this thing?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." Like
make it out to who?
Yeah, like when I went to, one of the times when I was at Comic-Con, it would have been 27. It was the 2017 Comic-Con because AJ Styles was there for WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And like I got there in the morning, my friend was with me, and he was like, "Dude, meet me up here." It was one of those things. Everybody's meeting early to get to their different places they needed to be. You know, you got the Funko guys, the Hasbro guys, the Wrestling 2 people. So we're like, all right, we got to hurry up and get to this Mattel booth ASAP. Man. Oh, no, nice.
Jason David.
Yeah, I told him to make it out to my daughter because she loves the Power Ranger, she loves the Green Ranger. I said, just make it out to her. I said, I'll live vicariously through her. But once we get a con back some way, shape, or form, I get him to sign this Draken figure.
Oh yeah,
nice.
So hopefully we'll be able to get some kind of norm. I will wear a mask.
What was I saying? But yeah, I get in there. We're sitting there. We're like, all right, he's got the whole layout of the building because he's done this enough times. He's like, just follow me. I know exactly where to go. The time hits, we are moving through this building. You know what I mean? We're just flying through things because we're both like small, thin people. So we're just like getting where we need to go. And
maybe next time I'm a bigger guy, I'll just knock them out of the
way. and we get to this booth, right? We get to the Mattel booth, and we're like, I don't think they're doing it, right? Because like nobody's there. And we're like, hey, what time are you guys doing like the tickets for AJ Styles? I'm like, well, no, we're doing that. Like, was there a line? I was like, no, it's just you two right now. It's like, here you go. Here's your tickets. It's like, oh, okay. So then we leave. You know, we come back later for the signing. The signing was cool though, but like, I saw that they were signing stuff like that you could just bring up there, like other than just like, you know, normal stuff that people would have. So I was like, man, I don't really have anything for him to sign because if I'd known he's going to be here, I would have bought like a WrestleMania ticket or something.
Mm-hmm.
But so I get up there. It's like, oh, you can sign my shirt. It's like him and Becky Lynch, right? And the Shockmaster. And so I get up there, and he's like, yeah, just lean in, man, lean in. And so I put my hands on the table to like lean forward. I didn't know that this table wasn't sturdy. This table almost completely flipped over. It was just like the normal table that the Dudleys would have. And so that thing, because it goes boom, and I'm like, so I set it back real quick. I'm like, man, this was almost a disaster because like everybody in line was like circling the booth, so they all would have seen it.
Yeah,
and I would have just been on the floor with this table on top of me, probably some broken ribs, but it worked out. You know, I got my signature on the shirt. Him, Becky Lynch.
That must have was a pre-cut table they used. They were gonna slam somebody.
And I got a signed Shockmaster figure. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but
yeah,
it was a Comic-Con exclusive, and he was upside down in the box because, you know,
I've seen that.
So yeah, that was a cool one though. Good year.
With the silver stormtrooper helmet and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was.
I love the video of that too because I was listening to an interview with Sid Vicious talking about that, and he said he's like, dude, as soon as he comes through, he's going to trip right there, and when he comes through, he ends up tripping. You hear Sid in the back. He's like, I told y'all.
See, it's a shame nobody was there to tell Sid he shouldn't have jumped off that rope.
Right. Every time, man. Every time.
I need to make a video on that. Who had it worse, Shockmaster or Titus O'Neil in the Royal Rumble? I mean, tripping at the Royal Rumble.
I don't know. Titus O'Neil's looked really smooth. Like
his was
almost majestic.
That was slip and slide commercial execution.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was perfectly done. Like you would think he had like Michael Nakazawa just like oiled himself up and was like,
yeah,
I got this.
I love how he came out the next Rumble when he was running down there. He stopped. He started walking up to the ring.
Man, and then he disappeared. And now he just does charity work, I suppose. Because that seems to be what people do when they're not on TV.
Yeah.
They become ambassadors.
Oh, yeah, that's the other option, being an ambassador or something.
Like, yeah, we can either release you or you become an ambassador. What's it going to be?
Yeah, because I think they think Kairi Sane, or I've heard mixed things. Like, I guess she's going back to Japan possibly to be like their Japanese ambassador. I'm not even sure what that means.
She was trying to get back to her husband for whatever reason. I think that was the case because she just got married like at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she did get married.
There's a lot with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all want to give her a push like towards the end now.
Hey, if you stick with us, we'll push you. Nah.
Yeah, like, she had a push in NXT, which I didn't care for because I wasn't into that whole pirate thing.
I love the pirate thing.
But something about
I liked that.
I just couldn't. I don't know. I couldn't get into it. But then when she moved into like the whole Asuka thing, then I was like, okay. And now it's like, man, like they need to make an Asuka and Kairi Sane like in their current form, like 2-pack. I get that, and I was just looking at my pictures from Comic-Con last year. It's like, man, a lot of those pictures they showed off just got announced this past weekend or something. You know, like hey, you can order this now. And pictures like the Sting picture that I saw, I was like, that figure never even came out. Like, where's this Drake Maverick with like when he was with the Authors of Pain, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of stuff. I was like,
Like, matter of fact, what happened to the Authors of Pain?
But let's see. Oh, HTX like said they're just trying to have her under contract in case she wants to come back and avoid. Yeah, that's always the thing. But yeah, I was looking at it and I'm thinking, man, there were a lot of figures that they showed off last year, like that just happened, like that maybe just released. Like they showed off, like, oh, we're gonna bring out the women's tag belts, and they just showed off the Alexa Bliss this past weekend with the tag belt. So if they're thinking about doing a Kairi Sane Asuka 2-pack, I'm thinking maybe fall 2026. What do you guys think?
I can get behind that.
That's too soon. 2030.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Oh yeah, because their production time to slow down right now. You're right.
Yeah.
Right. Forgot to calculate that in there.
I feel like they had a missed opportunity by not putting EO in with those two during all this. Like having the three of that trio together, and like Asuka in charge. They were tag team at one point, so
yeah.
It's like they did, but at the same time, like it seems to be working out for her right now. Like the solo thing. I haven't seen. I watched last week's NXT, but not. Well, no, I didn't watch the most recent episode. I watched the previous one.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to catch up on that. I was waiting until I could watch on demand with no commercials, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess I could download it, but you know, if I give YouTube a couple days, they'll give me what I want. YouTube TV, they'll give me what I'm looking for. Or I don't know what the delay is on the network nowadays, like between NXT being live and when it's on like the WWE network. But basically, I don't want to watch commercials. So
yeah, I get that. It's like I waited for both days of what was it, Fyter Fest. I just waited for both episodes to be out before I even watched that.
Yeah, Fyter Fest. I remember I had some mixed feelings about Fyter Fest. Well, wait, I might be thinking. Well, Fight for the Fallen was like the following week, right?
Maybe it was out. I can't remember. They're really close together.
Yeah.
Uniter.
Because I have some. I'm trying to think back to like what exactly happened with those, and I really don't remember a whole lot to differentiate them.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. Let's see. There was. Yeah, I don't remember anything about any of those. There was a tag match at some point with MJF in it, or maybe it was right. Him and
Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy, and
yeah. Either way, there was not. We can talk about that. I thought about
something. I might need to go I might need to go buy some Rusev figures.
I have one. I have the back in my Korea days. Like that used to be part of my backdrop.
His NXT figure.
No, I had the Rusev Day figure. So it was like him and like the Aiden English that went along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what else did I had also the Fashion Police, right? Yeah. Because I have two sets of them. One was like the 2-pack, and one was just two figures that were released at the same time.
And that was Breeze and Fandango?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're actually releasing so one of the weird things that somebody pointed out is that in this next wave of figures, right, the Street Profits and Bianca Belair are supposed to be within the same wave, like, you know, how they're all numbered. But Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods, I think it's Kofi in one set, and then Big E and Xavier in like the next one. So it's kind of an odd choice.
Mm-hmm.
But the Xavier Woods, from what somebody said, because I didn't notice it, but somebody said he comes with the up, down, down belt. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah.
And the and a trombone. So that's all pretty all right.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and the Matt Riddle figure is looking really good. Really good.
Yeah, Amazon and Amazon, Hasbro, and Entertainment Earth, they about to hit my pocket real heavy this week because the pre-orders about to get fulfilled. So
yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I was just thinking about that with the AEW ones. I got to figure out, okay, which ones do I want? Because like, I almost want to not buy the full set just so I don't have the full set, and I'm tempted to get into that. But looking at like Wave 1 and Wave 2, and I think from some of what I saw from Wave 3, man, they're putting out some good ones. Because I think
that 30th anniversary Undertaker, that's probably gonna be high on my list right now.
That is, was that a Walmart? I think I told you when it came out, but I can't remember now. I think it's a Walmart.
Ringside, huh? Ringside collectible.
I'd have to look back at it. I know it's an exclusive to somebody, but I'd have to go back and watch it because it's just they were talking about so many different things that were okay. This is only going to be at Target. This is going to be everywhere. This is only going to be here. So trying to keep it all straight.
I'm pretty much screwed.
What's that?
I said if it's only at Walmart, I know I'm screwed.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I was able to get because like the Decade of Domination figures, right? They just now started talking about those like publicly, but the pre-orders had apparently gone up a while ago. Right. So like the Kane Decade of Domination figure, that pre-order sold out like last month.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Because whenever I put in my order for the Kofi Kingston one is around the time that one has sold out. Right. So now, like with stuff like that, I'm trying to see like, okay, I guess I got to just put these orders in now. It's not going to ship for a while, so if it gets canceled or if I need to cancel it, I got time. But it's like you got to just start putting these orders in now to at least try to secure your spot in this line.
Right.
But again, there's just so much stuff popping up. It's like in the past,
I think we were talking about it that what it was that Sentinel
oh yeah, like the 2-foot Sentinel.
Yeah,
man, that thing
like a 2-foot Transformer Sentinel or
no, like the Marvel, the X-Men Sentinel.
It's bigger
okay.
It's bigger than the Unicron, the Unicron set they had a few years back.
Yeah, when I saw that, because it's basically like the animated series Sentinel, right?
Yeah.
But at 2 feet, like, and then whatever that equates to, like as far as width, that's a solid size for a figure. Like,
I
mean, it takes me, like, just trying to display these Transformers here. Like, it's like, where can I put this so that like it's not cluttered, but I want it to be out. You know?
Yeah.
So
I think just the shipping alone, that's why they tried to justify the price, just the shipping on it.
oh yeah, that's probably gonna be rough. And it also, like, I don't know if that's gonna be everywhere, but that's one thing I do like about when I buy certain like wrestling figures, whatever. If I don't want to buy it soon, because like Ringside Collectibles, they'll often ship stuff like when it's just available physically to be shipped. You know what I mean? If the street date for the Fiend was like, it was a couple weeks to a month after when they started shipping theirs. You know what I mean? So I can pay like the MSRP basically and get it right up front a little early, more than likely, or I can wait for Amazon to get it, and because it's going to be like mass produced, and eventually save like $5 or something, you know, buy it for like $18.99, no shipping, unless it's like Alicia Fox, in which case nobody buys it except me, and then it's only like $12.
Right.
Which, talking about like, you know, ordering online, I buy those Gundam models. But there's a site called HLJ, Hobby Lobby Japan, or something like that. And one of the cool things is, like, if you can pre-order, you get your own personal electronic warehouse. So you can get all your pre-orders and you can put them in there, and you don't have to pay on them until they actually fill your warehouse. So once they fill your warehouse, they'll actually sit there and hold on to them until you're ready to actually pay for them. Now, there is a time limit on how long you can stay there. But, you know, if something runs out of stock or whatever, it's like, well, as soon as they get it back in stock, it goes straight into your warehouse, and you just pay for it whenever you get the chance.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay. I feel like I might be thinking of something different, but I feel like maybe, was it Pop Culture Shock had something similar to that? Because they sell a lot of their own stuff. I think they only sell their own stuff. But I know they had some kind of program where you could put money into something to like pay for things. I don't know. It's been a long time. Like whenever I bought that Skeletor and Beastman statue, which is unnecessarily big, like whenever I got those, that was like the last time I shopped with them.
Yeah, Derek, didn't they just put a Sandrock Endless Waltz pre-order up a few, what it was, probably a week ago?
Did they put a what up?
A Sandrock, the Endless Waltz Sandrock pre-order for the model kit. Did they put that out a few weeks ago?
I'm not sure. I hadn't really got on there and looked at anything in a minute. The last thing I looked at was one of the Gundam figures from Double O. That it's one of their master grades.
Okay.
But I haven't looked on there probably in about a month or two, actually. So what all they got going on, I couldn't tell you right now.
I mean, which is sometimes a good thing, you know. Sometimes, as they say, bliss.
I just bought Barbados. Probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was like, I don't want to get suckered back into the cycle of getting these model kits like clockwork. So that's the whole thing.
Yeah. I remember I picked up the Dynamis Master Grade kit that they released last year.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, I know they're going to release at least, you know, one of the other two that wasn't Exia. And they released Alleluia. And I was like, all right, cool. That's coming out. I'll pick that up when it comes out. Totally forgot about it. And then it popped up on my Instagram. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's the thing I need to pick up. And then I go to look at it. That was out of stock. And it sucks because they got the gimmick on it where it can actually transform into the flight mode. So now I feel obligated to get 2 of them to display one as the mech form and one as the pilot form.
Right.
Yeah, that's always the case. It's like the New Day Man E Faces, which is in some Walmarts right now, along with an Undertaker version of somebody. Like when you turn the head, kind of like Man E Faces when it was, you know, back in the 80s, like it just spins between the 3 New Day guys, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people would probably want 3 of those.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, because they're on that John Cena popularity as far as, wrestling goes, hopefully they start stocking the shelves with those guys, because lately all I've been seeing is a lot of John Cena and Roman Reigns, which is not anything for me.
The last times I went and looked at the wrestling figures, I went to Target probably about 2 weeks ago, or was it Walmart? I think it was Walmart. And I walked in there, and the only thing they had was one Daniel Bryan. And then I went into Target yesterday, and they had a Kurt Angle, and I think like 2 or 3 different Seth Rollins figures, something like that. But there wasn't a lot on the shelf for those.
Yeah,
I seen a few weeks ago the Bret Hart.
The Ultimate one with like the white box.
Yeah, Bret Hart and Shinsuke Nakamura in the same box, like the same type of box, because he had like interchangeable jackets and all the other stuff. There's
the Becky Lynch like that with the 2 belts.
Shoot. If I would have seen that, I would have grabbed her. But
I don't know if it's out.
A lot of basic figures too.
Say that again.
I said a lot of basic figures too.
Oh yeah. Some of the basic ones can be pretty good. I mean, as far as just for what they are.
If you're just displaying them, if you're just displaying them.
Especially for the price. Like this Bianca Belair, I didn't realize it, but apparently she wasn't everywhere. I mean, she wasn't like hard to find, but you had to put in some work for it,
Right.
And I got her from a Target for $9.99, whereas everywhere else she was going for still $20 online.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. Came out on top.
Right.
But I am hoping to see that Becky Lynch somewhere soon, because I do want that old Becky 2 belts.
Right.
Because it's an Ultimate figure. I don't know what all else goes into it, compared to like just like your normal elites and stuff like that.
I still haven't seen that Roman Reigns Undertaker 2-pack. I still haven't seen that yet.
I didn't know there was one.
There was supposed to be one.
Yeah, there's been a lot of, because after like looking at some stuff online or whatever, I see there's a lot of stuff that really just flies under the radar, like if you know about it, like if you truly follow those things, okay, yeah, you'll hear about it. But otherwise, you got to just be in it, you got to just start perusing your shelves regularly.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that stuff, it's like you said, like if there's a John Cena figure or something, right? Yeah, it's going to be out there all the time.
Right.
But you won't know that the new wave is out unless you know what's in it. And so if like with the heavy machinery wave, that had Mysterio in it, which is kind of like a peg warmer, as some people would say. So it's just kind of hanging out on all the shelves and not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So when I walk around and I see the purple Mysterio, I'm like, okay, this store has started receiving the new wave. So I can come back here and not be wasting my time.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you gotta do some like Batman detective work or something.
Well, I mean, look, this Ghost Rider.
I almost picked that up.
and guess where I found it at?
Where?
Barnes and Nobles.
Really?
Barnes and Nobles.
Huh.
And then they got and if you're a Barnes and Noble member, they give you like 10% off, and if you got a coupon, you can get another % off too. So I got it for like $15.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
but at the time I didn't know they sold Marvel Legends at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So go to Barnes and Nobles. You can find Marvel Legends there too.
Yeah, I got a shop that I go to. It's called Half Price Books, and every now and then I'll catch something in there. It's very rare for it to be a figure. It's mainly like books, DVDs, and video games that you come across with a good price. But every now and then they'll have a nice little figure. That's actually where I actually found the dead Yamcha pop.
Oh,
yeah.
Man, I think we're all walking away with a few things to think about.
Eric's walking away and going right out this door here in a minute, getting in his car and hitting up Target or something.
Yeah, that's crazy though. It's like how, because had I known more of that stuff, like back when I started collecting, it might have saved me some trips or whatever. But in some ways, it's like the part of the fun of it, part of the thrill of the hunt is this
Mhm.
going into somewhere. Maybe you're going to find what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Often not, but
Yeah.
you might also find like some random other thing.
Right.
And now, like talking about that, like with you saying about Barnes and Noble, it's like who knows what I could have passed on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I
I
mean,
don't really go in
you
there.
go in there for your I go in there for like to look at certain graphic novels and things like that. And then my little girl, she likes to go in the kid area too. So once I get to doing in my parent and stuff, I can look for myself and see stuff like this or whatever the case may be.
I got you. Yeah, that's definitely something worth thinking about, though. That's it.
And I think like a big part of the fun in this for me, most of the time I go out and I don't really have anything specifically in mind. Now, if I'd went out like 2-3 weeks ago and I seen something like, I definitely want to pick that up later. That's one thing. But a lot of times when I go out and I start, snooping around, seeing what all is out there, I like to find those things that just kind of like stand out to me right then and there.
Right.
Then go and make that purchase. Like there's the Castlevania series on Netflix. They have I didn't know, but they released some action figures of the three main characters. And so last year I was just walking through my comic shop, seeing one of them, and then looked around, found the other two. I'm like, all right, cool. We're making a big purchase today. Grab them. Yeah.
That's the thing. Because like a friend of mine, he works at like an antique toy shop, and they have some used stuff. They have some new stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think we go over there. It's just I haven't found myself in Virginia Beach like in that piece of it lately. Because it's a big area. You know what I'm saying? So I need to make some time to get over there and see all that, see what he's got going on. But yeah, man, it's
a
just
lot of good places you'll find. Like flea market used to be a good place you could find a lot of that stuff. A lot of good new stuff out there.
I was yes, off of that same thought, whatever. I was watching a podcast, not a podcast, a YouTube episode of, you guys remember Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, not Kurt Hawkins. Who was the guy that he was it? I can't think of his name.
His co-host?
Yeah.
It's Kurt Hawkins.
Okay. See, for some reason I keep thinking, oh, okay, I was getting Kurt Hawkins confused with like Curtis Axel. I keep doing that. So yeah. So okay, so I did have the names right. But yeah, like they had an episode on their channel about where Kurt Hawkins was trying to get a very specific New Jack figure, right?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Because apparently there was more than one wave of ECW guys, which I just found out. But he ended up finding it because he had a friend of his that knew New Jack, so he was gonna try to have him figured out. But I guess this friend of his also works with wrestling, right? So he was doing an independent show one weekend, and people would just be there selling random figures, right?
Right.
And so he walks past this person's table, and he sees the random New Jack figure where it was after wave 1 but before wave 2, where it had like a mix of molds. so it was like, hey, how much is this? Like, $10. Like, oh yeah, okay, good. Let's do that. And then he ended up meeting New Jack at a Hooters somewhere so he could get it signed or something, which is
yeah.
But yeah, you never know what's gonna pop up in places. So that's the thing for me. Like, actually, you know what? There is an Atomic Comics just down the street. I should probably start going there again. I haven't been there in years.
Did you know that there was a treasure hunt system in Hot Wheels?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I got a few of them. The treasure hunt cards, I got a few of them hanging up right now.
Yeah. My buddy, his dad collects Hot Wheels and modifies them, and sometimes people will be like, hey, make a Hot Wheel of my truck, and he'll look at what their truck is, find a similar model, and then paint it and everything like that. But evidently, there's the limited I the treasure hunts where there's like one car in one of the boxes at the store. Yeah. And it's different than the others. They'll have like, it might have like a different color scheme. The wheels will be actual rubber instead of plastic, things like that. But that's something I kind of like. I don't go looking for too hard because I know, Hot Wheels is a really popular thing and there's so many to look through.
Yeah, that's a whole other, I don't know if Jezzy stays up on those, but I've never been like a real car guy or whatever. I'll see some Hot Wheels that look decent and everything. I wanted to get that. I did find that. Well, I didn't need that wagon was because like a friend of mine, like I found it because he wanted it after I saw it or whatever. But I ended up getting it from Amazon. I want to say for like, and it was basically free shipping, or it was like dirt cheap. Either way, it came out to like $4 or something like that altogether.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, for what the retail price of this is, which is like what, $2.99. Yeah, so I'm like, okay. For the price that this costs, I get that I'm paying like more than twice the price, but it's $1. So it saves me that much gas just trying to drive down to the street and see if they have it. But all in all, though, I wasn't not gonna be on here too long. Just wanted to kind of sit back, talk with you guys a little bit, rather before this turns into one of those 4-hour. It happens.
Very easy to do.
It is like the topics just keep rolling in. But yeah, I'm just go ahead and because we're about an hour and a half, so just gonna go ahead and wind down so we can all still early enough in the day so we can do whatever it is we need to do with our day and then move on. But Derek, again, as always, very nice to have you around. I know you kind of had some other things going on. So glad you were able to make it. Same to you, Jezzy.
This was the primary thing.
Like I said,
no problem.
Definitely gonna have to do this and the wrestling thing regularly, because it's easy enough to find the time to do that,
Right.
And then I will be right back here next week doing my normal shoe recap thing. So you're both invited if you'd like to be there for that. Talking about the releases that came up in July and what we think of them. But past that, that's my piece. Well, so Derek, you want to say some things, say some goodbyes, tell some people where to find, the normal outro stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, typically as of right now, my normal outros, you can find me here on this channel when I'm invited until I get into the swing of things, which, doing this, the more I come on here and talk to y'all, the more motivated I am to actually get out there and start doing the whole YouTube thing. So I'll probably think about that tonight, and we'll see where that takes me. But outside of that, again, everybody take care of yourselves and each other.
All right, Jezzy.
Yeah. Again, thank you for having me on. Probably will be here for the shoe recap for what we're in July. So yeah, I'll be here next week. But definitely appreciate y'all. And that, like I said before, you can find me on my channel at Jezzy Christ, aka Thriller, on IG, Jezzy Christ 1. Definitely appreciate talking to figures with both of y'all, especially you, Tristan, and good seeing you again, Derek, as well.
Good seeing you.
But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do this again soon. And yeah, hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day.
All right, appreciate that. And like I said, thanks to you guys for. I don't know how much my bank account is thankful for the tips and suggestions that you guys have provided, but knowledge is power, I guess.
So, try to save y'all a few dollars if I can.
Yeah, and send me a text about the figures that you're wanting to know about in Target.
Razor Ramon.
Oh, and Derek, you say you was looking for that Black Ranger?
Yeah.
Where you currently located right now?
Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should be able to. I'll go out to Walgreens and see if I can find one. I'll let Tristan know, and we could swap information from there.
All right. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Perfect.
Look at this coming together.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your day. To anybody out there, have a nice rest of your day or night, whatever it is, wherever you are. And I'll see you later. All right.
All right. See y'all.
All right.